Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel. What happened before the secret was revealed? A prayer meeting. He calls his buddies and says, hey, pray for me. This is a big deal. He says, then the secret was revealed unto Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are His. And He changeth the times and the season. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. And by the way, this part is important, because part of Daniel is going to be proving that God sets up kings and takes away kings. And you know, we need to remind ourselves that come every election season in America. I don't worry about who's going to sit in the White House. I don't worry one bit about that. You know what I worry about? I worry about obeying God. Because I know that if God so wants to give me more liberty, He can give me more liberty. And if God wants to take away that liberty, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever He will. It's not, no king is saved by his might. God's the one that gives victory. If we can remind ourselves of that, Daniel, he's sitting there with a death sentence on his head. They have a prayer meeting. The prayer meeting's over, and he's now singing because he's reminded that God sets kings and takes them down. He's reminded that God's in control. When no one else can do it, God can do it. Boy, I think we ought to have that prayer meeting. And there may come a time, the way America's headed, that we will have to have that prayer meeting. Whether it's praying for someone like Peter in prison, or whether it's praying because a death sentence has been placed on our head. And you know what we need to remember? That God picks kings and chooses kings, and He can remove them and put them wherever He wants. I mean, you think about this. There's a king that God says, hey, and that king hardens his heart. All he has to do is touch that heart and it won't beat anymore. All he has to do is just touch the mind, and then there's dementia. Case in point, you know, like 2020. Isn't it interesting how God can just do whatever He wants, and yet we know He's all-powerful, but our situation is out of control.